Hello, New Garden students. Welcome to a brand new series. I'm so glad that you are here with us today. And just a reminder that we'll be on Zoom Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, and the link is at newgarden.church/chat. So we will see you on Zoom on Wednesday at 7. But like I said, we're starting a new series this week called Like Me, and I am very excited about it. We're going to be talking about comparison and all the crazy stuff that comes along with that and how we can deal with it better. But I want to start by asking you, who else likes when things are unfair? No, you don't like when things are unfair, right? Nobody likes when things are unfair. And maybe you feel like it's unfair that you share a bathroom with your sibling, but you feel like you're the one that always has to clean it. Or you think it's unfair that last year you studied really hard for a test and got a C when your friend found out the answers before and got a 100. Or you think it's unfair that your friend's parents are buying them a car. All these sorts of things can feel unfair. And we begin to compare our own experiences to other people's. And that is intensified even more on social media, right? You might find yourself scrolling through things thinking, I wish I had that, or I wish I could go there. My parents aren't even letting me hang out with that many people right now. My friends are at a sleepover or at some party and all this stuff. And we begin to compare our lives with other people's lives, whether it's on social media or what they're telling us or texting us, whatever it is. And we start to assume that other people have this perfect life, right? I feel like people talk about social media kind of being the highlight reel. You just put out the good, cool stuff that you do on social media. Like that really awesome cake that you made and it looks perfect, so you're going to post it. Or you got like a great new outfit and you're feeling yourself, and so you take a selfie and post it. We put up the things that we feel really good about on social media. So when we see other people posting those things, it's easy to compare ourselves to something that seems perfect. And when we're reacting to that, there's a few different ways that I think people act in response to those things. Number one, you might try to overachieve. Maybe you see someone doing something on social media and you're like, I have to have that, I have to do that, whatever it takes, I'm going to get to the point where I can go to that place or buy that thing, whatever it is. Or maybe we do nothing. It might just feel easier to sit at home and be like, I will never be able to do that or get that, so I'm just not even gonna go there. And the third thing that I feel like I do is just play it over and over in your mind. Like it's just a reminder of things that other people are doing or other people have that we're not able to do or have right now. And it just sticks in your mind and plays over and over and over. And no matter how we respond, it feels the same, right? Comparison always feels bad. And I think it's our natural response as humans to see someone doing something and compare it to our own lives, because our own lives are our only experiences that we can compare anything to. So when we see something else, we just say how does that match up against my life? But it always ends up feeling bad, right? It never ends well. And we have all kind of perfected this, perfected the art of projecting the good stuff in our lives. So putting out the highlight reel, what we want other people to think that we have or think we're doing and make it look as cool as possible. Maybe you have sat there and deleted and retyped a text over and over and over because you want it to be just so. Or you've like thought about what is the perfect caption that everyone will think is funny, and I'm gonna like figure it out, and I'm not gonna post this until I have the perfect caption that it's gonna be great. And we've all kind of gotten good at that, at kind of curating this perfect image when it comes to like putting stuff on social media or telling other people about our lives. And comparison, it's something that comes naturally to us, and it's not a new thing. Just like most other things that we struggle with now, they may look different at this point in time, but the bigger idea of them, it's not really a new thing. And comparison is no different. So today we're going to be looking at a letter that Paul wrote to some people, and he was talking about comparison. And we know Paul, we know that he is a follower of Jesus who used to persecute Christians and then had a really dramatic turnaround situation and started following Jesus and became like one of the most well-known missionaries and preachers ever. And he has a lot of stuff in the Bible that he wrote, including letters. And these letters are ways that Paul kept in touch with the churches that he started and the churches that he was supporting and helping. And in these letters, Paul was pretty direct. He didn't really beat around the bush. He told people like it was. And people don't always respond well to that, right? If you are told exactly what you're doing wrong and what you need to do instead, you might have a little bit of pushback. It might be like, okay, why are you telling me what to do? And we are going to see that here in this situation. The people were feeling that way, and they're being a little petty about it. And so Paul is responding to kind of their pettiness. So we're looking at 2 Corinthians 10:12. Paul said, "Oh, don't worry. We wouldn't dare say that we are as wonderful as these other men who tell you how important they are. But they are only comparing themselves with each other, using themselves as the standard of measurement. How ignorant." I don't know Paul personally, but this sounds pretty sarcastic, right? Kind of saying like, oh, but what do I know? These guys are only comparing themselves to themselves and not to other people, and that's crazy. But I think he was really trying to drive his point home that comparing yourself with others is a game that you will never win. And maybe you have heard from your parents or a teacher at some point in life, like there will always be people who will have more than you and have less than you. And you have probably experienced that in your life and found that to be true, that will always be true. And so comparison on either end is not something that is going to work out. And focusing on the people that have more or have less or can do more or can go to that place or be with whoever is not good for us. And it affects us. Living in this comparison game like really takes a toll on our minds and on our hearts. And there's a verse in Proverbs 4:23 that says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." And comparison affects our hearts. And I think in today's society, we are bombarded by other people's lives at all times, more than ever before. Like, you look at your phone and you've got a text and a Snapchat, and you're looking at TikTok and Instagram and like whatever it is, and you see all these things that people are doing all the time. And when we are constantly comparing ourselves to other people, that's weighing on us. And one of the quickest ways to hurting our hearts is through comparison. And the writer of this proverb here is saying, like, above all else, guard your heart, because everything you do is coming out of that. Like, everything you do is coming out of your heart. And so what I want to get across to you today is, do not compare your worth with their posts. And it is so immediate. Like, I do it all the time, and I notice when I have been on social media too much, because I feel more anxious and I feel more critical of myself, and it affects us more than I think we know. And maybe you notice that in yourself too, that when you are constantly looking at things that other people are doing and experiencing, that you feel worse about yourself. And so maybe, honestly, probably all of us need to take a good long time off of social media and just experience what that is like, and to teach ourselves how to stop comparing, right? And how to notice those tendencies within ourselves to be able to put a stop to it. So I want us to kind of have these questions in our mind so we can notice when we are about to compare ourselves to someone else. Number one, what things are fueling how I feel? Are you feeling really good? Awesome. Why is that? Are you feeling super anxious? Why is that? Are you tired? Are you stressed? Whatever it is, what is fueling the way that you feel? Number two, what are some things that I want to do because of how I feel? What are the things that you are prone to do in response to the things that you're feeling? Maybe you just want to go to sleep because you're stressed and you can't deal with it anymore. Maybe you cannot put your phone down because you need to keep up with what's going on your phone. What are those things that you're doing because of how you feel? And the third one is, what or who am I comparing myself to that's bringing up these feelings? And I follow a girl on Instagram who is very vocal about this idea that if you're following someone sorry, I'm trying to get my words straight. If you're following someone on Instagram, on Snapchat, on TikTok, whatever, and it is hurting your mental health, you can unfollow them. And that's okay. You do not have to continue to subject yourself to something that's putting you in a worse place. That is making you compare yourself to someone else in a way that is unhealthy. And I'm giving you the permission to unfollow whoever that is for you, because it's not worth it. So these things I know are, it's hard to recognize how often we compare ourselves to other people, because I think we do it a lot more than we think we do. And so I hope that these questions can help us to recognize when that is creeping in, and to help us guard our hearts above all else, and to get the attitude that Paul had of like, oh, stop comparing yourselves to other people. So don't compare your worth with their posts. And don't compare your worth with their posts. I hope that you will join us on Zoom on Wednesday at 7, and we will continue talking about comparison and everything that comes with that. So I hope to see you there.